So this is my final major project. So the project brief, this year for the final major project, the class has been challenged to create a film product between 30 seconds and 4 minutes in length based on the theme of dreams and nightmares. The start date for this project is the 3rd of March 2019 and the deadline is the 14th of June 2019. My specialist role this project will be a cinematographer, as I'm most comfortable with that role personally. So the concept of my short film is about a young teenage man goes on a night out with his friends, and basically when he leaves them, he's basically taking a stroll back home and takes the park route, and basically he starts feeling a bit tired, a bit sleepy, so he decides to sit on a bench. Then he wakes up a couple of hours later, a bit weary, a bit drowsy, like, oh, what am I doing here? He gets up, he starts walking towards the exit of the park, and he sees something really mysterious. He sees a masked man dragging a body, like unconscious body, towards a lake, and basically he kind of locks eyes with this masked man, and there's like a few moments of just intense staring at each other, and the masked man just starts chasing the protagonist Liam, and he starts chasing him. So Liam decides to go to the other exit of the park, the back exit, and he's got no time to exit the park and stop and look both ways on the road. He just decides to run straight across the road, but while he does this, he gets hit by a car. Then he wakes up, he realises it was all a dream, and he kind of has like a sigh of relief. You know, he feels much better, so he goes downstairs thinking nothing more of it. He starts eating his breakfast and he gets a knock on the door. So he opens the door and it's a policeman, which is informing Liam about there's been a body found at the local park just down the road, and this mask was found at the scene. Like, do you know anything about it? Like, and Liam, the protagonist, just says, oh, he's a bit shocked because obviously he's just dreamt about this. But nevertheless, he just thinks, oh, okay, but never mind. But no, I don't know anything about it, officer, sorry. And then he closes the door, and kind of it all of a sudden hits him, and he's just like, Jesus, like, what's this all about? So he's just like, kind of has 2-3 minutes to himself. He's just like, oh, like. So he goes upstairs to go get his college ID to go leave, opens his top drawer, and there's a mask in there, like the mask that was found at the scene, and then it ends. So. Yeah, that's the concept. My influences are Scream and A Nightmare on Elm Street, purely because Scream is just about a masked man just chasing down people and just murdering them, and Nightmare on Elm Street is because the whole dream is just based on the whole film is just based on a dream, and at the end they wake up and it's kind of they've realised it's all a dream, and then all of a sudden there's a twist and realise that's a nightmare as well. So it kind of ends like that, and I've noticed in Scream as well there's a lot of low-key lighting that I'm going to try and replicate. The codes and conventions for my of a thriller are clearly suspense, excitement, tension, low lighting, and protagonist being the mercy of the antagonist. These are all things that I'm going to hope to include within. My intended experimentation for my first one is going to be a snorri cam, purely because there's quite a few instant thriller films. I've got an example here. So it comes up in a couple of seconds. So right here, this is Mean Streets, it's a thriller, and basically, as you can see, it's like low lighting around him and stuff. It's hard to see on the big screen, but it's low lighting. But yeah, this is the sort of thing I'm going to try and replicate while he's in the park. So while my main character's in the park, I want to kind of replicate that, so you can show his true emotion in his face as it's like a pure close-up. For my second experiment, it's going to be a backwards tracking shot, because, oh no, I'll show you this example and then I'll explain.
So, as you can see here,
notice how the camera drifts slowly up and down and mimic each step, in addition to focusing on its moving feet. Notice how
as you can see, like,
slowly up.
the camera just tracks back as he walks forward.
Mimic each step.
So that's what I'm hoping to do as well after I transition out of the snorri cam. I want it to go to like a backward tracking shot of him walking forward, kind of realising the masked man in front of him. And my third experiment is going to be, we have to do one theory, film theory, so mine's going to be genre theory, clearly thriller, and low-key lighting. So obviously it's going to be in the park as well. Still waiting there. We're on space now. It appears, it's a shutter island, it appears like quite a way in because it's not low lighting yet. Here it is. So, oh no. Why it's frozen like this. So it's light at the moment, but then it's probably better watching the small screen to be honest. Don't know why it's doing that. And then it goes dark here. This is sort of low lighting technique that I want, and then he lights a match. And that's the sort of light I'm going to try, that's the sort of technique I'm going to try and replicate. Because as you can see, it's a bit of an on-edge sort of look to it. So my target audience, I narrowed it down by doing a questionnaire at the start of the project. Age, it's obviously, it's going to be, because I explained at the start of the questionnaire that it's going to be about a young man, about 18, 19. So people that answered it, I put it on Facebook, so people answered it, and most of the people were 17 to 21 age, which is perfect for the target that I want. Most of them were males. I'm not sure why only males probably answered it, but yeah, it's middle class and Western background. The equipment list I'm going to be doing just usual stuff, but I'm going to be I'm going for the snorri cam technique because it's expensive to get a snorri cam. I'm going to try a technique that I saw on YouTube where you get two belts, a tripod, and basically put the one bit of the tripod there and then put it around your back, so it like the camera and the tripod kind of like looks almost identical to a snorri cam. So that's what I'm going to be trying. I'm also going to get a thin plank of wood for when I do the backwards tracking shot. I'm going to put a thin plank of wood on the floor, a dolly, when I'm in the park, and kind of like just put it back, because obviously without the plank of wood it's going to be a bit bumpy, so hopefully that will work. But yeah, questions?
In terms of sound, I realise obviously that your emphasis is on cinematography. Would you consider sound to not be such an important aspect here? I mean, it seems that you've got a very, very strong idea of the visuals. You mentioned obviously that you're using a boom pole and so on. Can you just talk a little bit about the way sound will be recorded for it?
Well, yeah. I'm glad you brought that up, to be honest, because basically obviously thrillers have quite a few intense sounds within. So I'm probably, in the park scenes, I'm probably going to have obviously like a few crunching like sounds where he's walking, like kind of raised up a little bit so the audience can hear them and kind of get an edgy feeling. Obviously I'm going to have some like pianos, classical sort of music, like quite slow in the background but very, very dim, so you can't hear it. But as like he sees the masked man, it kind of raises up a little bit. So, but yeah, like I'm going to look more into it at the moment. But obviously I'll have put a lot of focus into the cinematography side of things. But yeah, I'm going to put a bit more effort over the next few weeks on sound as well, just narrowing it down and that. But yeah.
And in terms of how you want the audience, what would you say you're looking for in terms of an audience reaction to the piece as a whole? What is it that you're hoping to either tell them or get them to get out of the experience?
I don't know, that's a good question, to be fair. I don't know, I kind of want them at the end of it just to think, wow, like, been left on a cliffhanger. I don't want don't really know what to feel about it, and obviously I want people to have their own view on it, like their own interpretation on it. You know what I mean? So some people think he's a mass killer. Another one will think, it's another nightmare. So it's a bit like no one really knows. It's just up to your own interpretation of what people think at the end of it. But yeah.
Excellent. Thank you very much. Nice one, gents.